All right, we're live.
Great.
Yep. So we're gonna wait for some people to show up.
Sounds like a plan. Thank
Yep.
you, Megan.
Mm-hmm. Now, Steve, this is Coffee and Conversation. Do you have coffee today?
Actually, I've already had a cup of coffee this morning. Usually get a cup of coffee, 1 cup in the morning. And so right now I've transitioned to some ice water.
Yes.
And then later this afternoon I usually get some tea.
Oh, tea.
So,
You
yeah.
have every beverage throughout the day.
Well, the tea in the afternoon kind of helps me, keeps me going in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So but
I'm coffee all day.
there you
Decaf
go.
coffee all day long.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
I mean, occasionally, if I'm driving a long distance,
Oh yeah. A
we
little
go
pick me up.
My mom and dad live up in the Hagerstown area, so it's about a 3.5 hour drive. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're coming back at nighttime, I usually stop at the Wawa and at the bridge and grab a cup to make it the rest of the way.
Yeah. It's a good traveling drink.
Yes, yes. And only Wawa. We checked all
Only
the different-
Wawa?
Well, Rise Up occasionally.
Oh,
If we're
Rise Up was
going
good.
Up to Hagerstown, usually in the morning we'll stop at Rise Up in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Grab a cup there, or grab a sandwich or breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
something, and then head up. But on the way back, usually Wawa. The other ones just not real. Just found that that's the best combination.
Yep. You gotta find what works for you.
Hot original cappuccino and
Yeah.
half and half.
Yeah.
So it works out good.
Well, my mom's here.
Oh.
Shocker.
Wow.
She says good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you for joining.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
And it's under Stephanie's account, but it says good morning, Steve. This is Judy.
Oh, it's Judy. Judy's my wife.
Yes.
Well, she does not have Facebook, so that's why she's coming under
She's
Stephanie. I
hijacked
think
Stephanie's.
Stephanie was trying to help her sign on, and
Yeah.
So good morning, Judy. Have you had a cup of coffee yet?
If you have any questions for Steve, you can put them in the chat and I will relay them to him. But I do have plenty of questions of my own that I will ask. But to start off, let's introduce yourself and what do you do here at Avery Hall?
Sure. Thank you, Megan. And my name is Steve Mason. I'm an account exec agent here at Avery Hall Benefit Solutions. What I do is I help people, I guide people through the transition to Medicare enrollment, help them with Medicare's coverage review, Medicare supplements, and also the prescription plans, the Part D. We also help individuals with health coverage. If they're transitioning from a group coverage from an employer and they're retiring, say in their 60s, they need individual health coverage to carry them over to Medicare. So we can help them with that. Also, life coverage. If you're with an employer's life and you have coverage through an employer and you retire, you would be losing that life coverage. So we can help offer life insurance term or whole life, depending on your needs. Offer those coverages for you as well. Long-term care, there's a lot of need for that right now. People are seeing that, down the road, 15, 20, 25 years, you're going to need some income for assisting with that cost on a monthly basis. And so long-term care, we can help review and provide you with plans and quotes based on your needs and your situation.
Mm-hmm. You do a little bit of everything.
A little bit, and also dental and vision.
Yes.
We have dental and vision plans that we can offer to clients as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lots of different stuff.
There's a lot of, and if need, you can contact us. We can always refer if you have any auto and home, you want to check on your quotes or your current coverage, just to see if you have the right coverage. We can also refer you to our partners at the Avery Hall Property and Casualty team, and they can assist with that as well.
Yep, it always shocks me just like how much, like every coverage that you need, there's like,
Yes.
basically there's somebody here to help you.
And with the cost of, say for homeowners, the cost of the prices of construction and so forth, you definitely want to review with your agent on a yearly basis,
Yes.
just to make sure you have the right coverage. And also as well as for auto, for the liability limits and uninsured motorist limits, you want to make sure you have those reviewed and properly set.
I'm not an insurance person, but one thing I've learned is that if anything changes in your life, basically you need to call your insurance agent. They need to be up to date.
Right, and that's what I mean. At Avery Hall, we're a independent agency. We work with that means we're working with multiple different carriers. And so we can kind of look out and see which carrier might fit your needs and provide the best coverage for an individual. So that's something we're always looking. We're not tied into one company. We look at multiple different carriers and provide the best coverage and pricing, and also customer service is very important as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's super expensive to use our services, right?
Well, all of our services are free. So we can come in. I can talk by phone, review, and answer any questions by phone. Also, we can set up an appointment here in our office. I'm located here in Salisbury, but we can set up a time. You can come in and we can review and answer your questions. But there is no fees for consultation, review, and answering your questions.
So
we welcome your calls, and also by email we can forward a lot of documentation out to you for review, and then answer your questions by phone or in person.
Yeah, it's almost like, why would you do it by yourself if you could have somebody help you?
Exactly. And we have multiple different locations. Of course, Salisbury is the main office, but we also have a new location on Middleford Road in Seaford.
Yes.
We have an office in Milton, and also an office at Easton.
Yep. And Easton is our other benefits. So if you have specifically health questions, that's who you want to reach out to.
Yeah, we have a team up there that can assist with individual health and Medicare questions as well. Yep.
And you can text us.
That's true.
That I try to tell everybody that, because I know, especially younger people, I feel like.
Right. I mean, that's the communication that everybody enjoys.
So if you text our Salisbury number, you can get anybody from any office. It's not just Salisbury.
That is true. Yes.
Yep. Okay, so more people are jumping on.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to remind them that if they have questions, they can put them in the chat and I will relay them. But I think I'm going to ask one of my questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Why would someone need a Medicare supplement plan?
Well, with Medicare, there's Medicare Part A and B. On Medicare Part A, there's deductibles if you have, and that's hospitalization. There's a deductible that you would have to meet if you go for that service. Also, under Medicare Part B, they pay 80% of the costs. A Medicare supplement, or sometimes referred to Medicare gap coverage, picks up the deductible under Part A, and also will pick up the 20% that's not covered under Part B. So that would be the reasoning for a Medicare supplement plan, to make sure you have coverage for all services that you incur, those medical treatments.
It kind of picks up the slack a little bit.
It does, that is correct. And there's different, we can review, and that's something we set up, we can review the Part A and B coverage, and also the coverages for the Medicare supplement plans as well. All Medicare supplement plans are identical in coverage for all carriers. There's no difference from one carrier to another. Just want to make sure everybody's aware of that.
But there are differences between each plan.
That is true. There is different plans, but depending on your age and your situation, we can address and we can review those plans that will best fit your needs. That is correct.
Lacey says good morning.
Oh, good morning, Lacey.
Lacey, you have also asked to join the live. I don't know if you meant to do that, so I'm not going to make you join immediately. But if you want to, let me know in the chat. Next of my questions. This one's fun. What was your favorite subject in school?
History. I was talking to my kids last night, and Judy, and she said I was just history, because I read a lot of history books. I grew up in Washington County, Boonesboro, Sharpsburg, Antietam battlefield area. It's a lot of history in that location, and so I just like to read books, watch movies about history, and so I enjoy that.
Yep. Lacey does not want to join the live stream. She hit that by
that's
accident.
Good. That's fine.
Yeah, people always hit that button. Yeah.
And she's from our new Seaford location.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep. Next to my questions, what is your favorite food or meal?
I like a blackened ahi tuna steak sandwich. That's my favorite food.
It from anywhere in specific?
Usually in Salisbury is Backstreet.
Oh yeah.
They put some wasabi sauce on it.
Oh yes, just a little
Just
bit
a
though,
little
right?
bit, yes. Just
Super
a little
spicy.
Bit. But that's usually my favorite.
That's good.
Along with barbecue. Noah, my son, he's been doing a lot of barbecue recently, and he just made a brisket about a week ago, and it was really, really good. So I enjoy his as well.
Yes.
It's very tasty.
Lacey has a question.
Okay,
It's
great.
a little bit long. If someone takes a leave from work and they're not able to keep their insurance, are you able to help them with a short-term policy?
There is typically we're able to help them with a Care First plan. They could just start it in regards to an individual plan, and if they're using it for 90 days or 180 days, 6 months, they can terminate that coverage at any time. So typically it would be, basically in Maryland, it would be a Care First. In Delaware, it would be a Highmark type coverage.
Good
But
question,
we
Lacey.
can definitely see what their needs are, and we can provide them with a plan that would best work for them.
There's usually something you can do for people.
That is true.
All right, next
But
question.
that's a good question, because you want to make sure you plan ahead. The main thing is I see is before you take the leave, you want to make sure you understand what coverage is available to you, and of course the cost. Because if you're going from a group plan, from an employer plan to an individual, the cost is much higher. That's something I always let everybody know. You want to kind of plan ahead to see what the cost factor is.
Lacey must have been asking for a client because she says, okay, can you call me when you get done with your live then?
Yes, we can do that.
Yes, this is what's cool is that, we have the PNC people who handle, individual and business insurance, who are constantly like talking to the benefit side and like
True.
working together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next question. Let's talk about life insurance. Did you know that September is National Life Insurance Month?
You know what? I wasn't aware of that, but
Okay.
that is great. That's good.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very important. So, life insurance, typically there's term life and then there's whole life. Term is typically, depending on your needs, it's kind of to cover any debt you may have. So, if you have a house mortgage, car loans and so forth, you want to kind of add those up, see where you are as far as your debt, and then you want to kind of see what's the long term, what time period do you want to cover those. You could be 20 years or 30-year term is typical. So you pay a monthly fee. It's set for that term. Say if you do a 20-year term, it would be that set amount for that time period, and that would cover any debts if, in the case, there was a passing. So that's what you're looking for. Term. Whole life, on the other hand, is more of an investment. There is a life coverage limit there, but also it's an investment. There's a cash value that builds up over time. So a lot of people can invest with that. It's a little bit more, it's usually about 3 to 4 times more per month in premium. However, there is a return in cash towards the end of the life of the policy. But it all depends. If you're young, in your 20s, you're starting out, you're purchasing a house, it's good to have life insurance, and it might be on the higher side. Also, I'm seeing for life, people are starting to retire, maybe in their late 50s or early 60s. They still have some debts, a mortgage, and when they retire, and they will lose their employer benefits. So then they need possibly a term coverage for maybe 10, 15 years to make sure those debts are paid down. And so I'm starting to see some of those requests as well for term coverage.
And some people, they have employer-sponsored life coverage, but sometimes that isn't enough, and sometimes they need to come to you for additional.
Right. Yeah, the employer typically usually offers about 1.5 times the salary. Not always, but for the most part, it's usually it's very reasonable cost.
Yeah.
But yes, it's usually not enough to cover your possible debts that you may have. That you want to make sure you're securely you have financial stability for those coverages.
And are you ever too young to get a life insurance policy?
No, you can go, actually, there's multiple different, from infant all the way up to 80 years old. You can, parents, grandparents can purchase plans. I know like Gerber Life has like a toddler type, a child plan that they can purchase at birth, and they can, it's a whole life plan. So they can continue to pay on those premiums as the child grows, and when they turn 18, there's a cash value there. Also, in the Gerber plan, it also will double in the limits. So if it goes from, they have a $20,000 limit, it could jump to $40,000 at that time. So that's a very good positive, policy that would assist for that.
Yeah.
But you can also purchase life coverage or whole life up to 80 years of age.
Yeah.
And there is underwriting, just want to make sure there is underwriting involved. So we would need to review medical questions, review that, submit it in for underwriting, and then they would revise. And if there's any questions and so forth, they would respond, and we could review with the client.
Yeah. So it's almost like the younger you are.
The younger you are, the less expensive it is.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. You just got to kind of plan ahead. How many years out do you want that? And yes, I would agree that in your 20s is a good time to start looking and seeing what and purchasing that insurance, and that can definitely make it much premium-wise. It would definitely help.
Yep.
And also medically, there's people, if the underwriter, when you submit the application in, if there's no issues, no medications, typically they could do an automatic issue without having a medical exam. And so it would make it much easier for that.
And it's usually a pretty simple process, right?
Yes,
Especially
yes.
with your help.
Yeah, you just reach out, give us a call, send us an email. We can just say, we can talk, see which best meets your needs, either term or whole life. And we can request some quotes. We send out the quotes to you. If that all looks good, then we can, at that point, proceed with the application process. And that's fairly simple to do. And we can handle that, direct you and guide you for doing that.
I got one more question for you, Steve.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
What is one thing that you're really good at?
Good at? Well, I like to help my clients. I help, let them know or help understand what coverages they're looking at. And want to make sure they fully understand the process, as far as what happens if there's a claim. So I wanted to make sure that I'm describing to the clients what all steps are involved with coverage, claims, and if they have any questions, they can contact us here at Avery Hall. We're here local, and we can help guide them if they have any questions whatsoever. And usually when somebody is transitioning into a new coverage, there is questions.
Yeah.
Especially the first time, maybe they go to the doctor's office. There's always some questions and so forth. We can definitely help or correct any issues. But that's why we're here local. We're not an 800 number to try to sort through on finding me on the phone. You can always stop by our office here or give us a call. We can help you in that way.
I thought you were going to say woodworking, and then we could talk about your table.
Yeah. Well, I do, on the side, I like different projects, woodworking projects. And,
can I show them the table?
Sure.
Okay, let's move our papers.
It's half.
It's half done, but it's so beautiful. I kind of want them to see it. Look at this table that Steve has crafted.
Well, and I just want to make sure you know.
Yes.
There is a multitude of people helping out.
Yes, but
Judy,
Judy. Shout out to Judy.
She helped sand it. Stephanie, my daughter, she helped when we went up to Hagerstown, Washington County, to pick it up. She was with us, and Noah, my son, he helped many a time carry it.
Yeah.
And actually helped carry it and set it up in here. So,
yes, but it's very
cool.
cool.
A lot of assistance there.
Yes, my mom says it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to thank everybody for your time today joining. And Steve Mason with Avery Hall Benefit Solutions. Again, we can help transition from like a group coverage, health coverage, to individual health if you're retiring before 65, or if you're over 65, we can actually help, or turning 65 in the next year, we can help you transition to Medicare and answer any questions you may have. And we're open for walk-ins, or we can make appointments here. You can come into our office and we can review and answer your questions.
And how can people contact you specifically?
You can give me a call at my number at 410-677-3563, or the main number here at Avery Hall, Salisbury, is 410-742-5111, or you can give me send an email at smason@averyhall.com.
All right, time to start your day, start your insurance day, right?
Yes, yes. And I really appreciate everybody joining, and I appreciate Megan's assistance and guiding. She makes it very easy. She does a great job doing that. But thank you all for joining us, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.